What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Chris, this is 4K Motoring, and today we've got the December update on the Fossil Gen 6 smartwatch. Stay tuned, let's see what's entailed, see how far we've come with the Fossil watch since the new WearOS 3, and see if it's still a watch worth buying. A lot of you guys have been asking me questions on my last Fossil Gen 6 video about the OS 3 update and how it basically ruined this watch, at least initially. And most of you guys wanted to know, is Fossil fixing it? And when will they fix it if they have not already? Well, what I can tell you is in my brief conversations with Fossil, they have basically expressed that they are absolutely working on fixing all of the issues that have been encountered with the new OS 3 update for the Fossil watch, but they've given no timeline on doing it. So they've released a new update in December. We're going to go ahead and download and see all the things that are entailed. 9to5 Google had a pretty good write-up on what is actually entailed in this. So let's go ahead and see if that's enough for you to go ahead and switch back to this watch, the Fossil Gen 6 smartwatch. Syncing with the Fossil smartwatch app on our Google Pixel 6, we're going to go ahead and see if the update is ready for us. We can see so far everything seems to be loading on the watch. We have not really worn this since our last video. We've been using pretty much the Pixel watch exclusively. That Pixel watch is very comfortable and works very well, but really doesn't offer a whole lot for the price point. That's kind of a big concern. This watch here, the Fossil, over the holidays in 2022, I saw marked down to, I think, $189 was the price, which is pretty astounding for what you're getting in this watch, assuming it works. So let's go ahead and go to our system updates, and we're going to go ahead and download the latest update for December from Fossil. Now, from Fossil, some of the main things they've noted that are included in this update for December 2022 are a couple big fixes. The most notable highlights that they list are media control bug fixes and heart rate LEDs not always running with certain apps and not communicating well with apps. So what they've done is they've done some fixes for some of the watch faces. They've made them better utilize the sensors of the watch and gather data and display it for you. So if that's been an issue, if you've had poor display of some of your vital signs and some of the tracking features that this watch does, they fixed that, or at least they've worked on it. They've gotten button improvements. So I guess some people have noticed that the call button when you're answering and hang up button kind of had some issues with the new update. That they've done some of that for fixing. The button patterns, the short, middle, long press type features have been tweaked a little bit so that they're more reliable and more usable. The smart battery modes have been fixed. So things like the extended battery mode should work like it was supposed to now. When it gets to a certain level, it should automatically do what it's supposed to do. And one thing they say is that the brightness setting for the flashlight has been fixed. So we'll go ahead and test that as soon as this thing updates, because I'm really curious to see. That was one of my frequently used apps on this watch. They also say some of the wellness tracking features have been updated. Some of the issues people have had with the heart rate not tracking, or at least certain apps not utilizing some of the sensors, they say that's been fixed, and the communication between the watch sensors and all the software now is much smoother, supposed to be better. And Bluetooth syncing and pairing apparently has gotten a bunch of improvements. So if you had any instability there, had difficulty pairing or syncing your watch, or it was causing you issues, they say they've gone ahead and done a lot of work to fix that. They've done a couple other fixes, the media control onboard fixes, some of the phone call settings, some of the little things that people have had issues with. They've done a lot of small fixes. Still no fix for the Google Assistant yet. That has not been announced on a timeline. It's not currently out. They do note that they are working on it. They are continually working on it, and they're going to get the Google Assistant working eventually on this watch again, like it did. And again, if they're able to sell this for anything close to the price they did in the holidays for under $200, once they get this fully functioning, even without the Google Assistant, if everything else works, but especially with that Google Assistant working, this is going to be a hard watch to turn down. Well, that update did take a little bit longer than I thought it was going to. It ended up taking about 3 hours to complete. Even on full gigabit Wi-Fi, still was not a very fast update. But what I've now found, it's been about 12 hours of using it, And overall, I'm pretty happy with the update. I think they did a lot to fix what was wrong with the watch after the OS 3 update, and I think it's much more usable now than it was. Things like the Google Fit tracking, the GPS and heart rate tracking seem to be functioning again. The flashlight now works in full brightness, not reduced brightness, so that's nice. Everything else seems to be at least working smoothly, which is a big plus. I know a lot of you have commented on my last video about how there's been intermittent issues or everybody having kind of different little glitchy issues. It seems to have a lot of that resolved. There is still no Google Assistant. So if that's a big deal to you on an Android watch, not having Google Assistant, you know, that's something to consider. But you do have Alexa available if you need it, the inferior voice assistant, but everything else is functioning. The Google Pay is working, all the sensors seem to be working, but it really seems to have fixed a lot of the problems I had with the Fossil Gen 6 smartwatch. So we're getting back to where we were with this watch being a fantastic bargain. Again, on Amazon right now, these things are going for about 180 bucks. Under $200 you can get a Fossil Gen 6 smartwatch. I think the OS 3 mayhem kind of decreased the value, made it a little bit more affordable for everybody. But now you can get these things well under $200. I'll leave a link down in the description below if you're interested. And we're back to almost total functionality. And absolutely these things in every way rival the Pixel Watch, which is double the price at this point. So again, if you ask me which one do I think you should get, whether it's the Pixel Watch or the Fossil Watch, well, the Gen 6 now gives you everything the Pixel Watch does with faster charging and a slightly bigger screen for half the price. You guys make your own decisions. Let me know in the comments below what you're thinking. Again, I just wanted to give you this December update to let you know where the Fossil Watch is at this point and if we're back to kind of the status that I held it to prior to this OS 3 update or not. Hope you guys enjoyed this content. Again, I'm Chris. This is 4K Motoring. If you haven't already, go ahead and like this video and subscribe. We'll catch you next time.